Welcome to level 22 out of 31 levels of the 613 degrees or rungs on Jacob's ladder. It is good practice to not avoid practicing meditation. Meditation slows time down and increases a person's patience. While one meditates, they can reflect on their past and present to create a better future for themselves. It is also a good practice to have thick skin and avoid having thin skin. In addition to having thick skin, it is a good practice to dodge and avoid insults with quick mental reflexes. So it is good to have thick skin in order to avoid insults penetrating beneath the surface and getting under a person's skin. It is also good to think quickly and dodge verbal insults that could cause harm if not reacted properly to. It is appropriate to not practice the 6 spiritual laws of predation. These 6 spiritual laws are to lurk, stalk, creep, prowl, prey, and scavenge. It is not necessary to overanalyze these, but just to understand the general concept of that it is not appropriate to be a predator, one who preys on others, having a harmful effect on others. It is also important to not be a scavenger, which is someone who preys on the weak and powerless. It is also important to not prevent walking stability and even further, wrestling stability. The word Israel means one who wrestles with God. It is as if we are wrestling every day of our life, trying to do good and fight the opponent called Satan or the ego. To eat the sinew of the thigh vein is to make one unable to wrestle, because the thigh is used for physical wrestling. In spiritual wrestling, we don't wrestle with our body, but with our spirit. So in spirituality, we are wrestling with Satan and the ego, constantly struggling to use our soul to determine what is good and bad, right and wrong, to use our spirit to act on our soul's beliefs and judgments. We constantly wrestle with the enticer, which is temptation. We are tempted every day to sin, and it is a challenge to maintain virtue. It is also a good practice not to eat the forbidden fruit. The forbidden fruit is a metaphor for sadism and masochism. It is forbidden to eat this type of fruit because it is harmful towards others and self. Fruit is a metaphor for enjoyment. Forbidden fruit is a metaphor for pleasure, specifically deriving pleasure from the pain of others or self. Sadism is receiving pleasure from hurting another. This could be physical or verbal abuse. It is forbidden to take enjoyment from the pain of others. This is what the opponent, Satan, wants us to grow accustomed to doing. We must try hard and defeat this opponent and take joy from loving others instead of taking pleasure from hating them. Masochism is receiving pleasure from pain on self, caused by self or another. To be masochistic is to enjoy pain. Masochism is the result of someone becoming tolerant to pain and turning the pain into pleasure from overexposure to it. If a person is insulted daily or routinely for a long period of time, that person sadly learns to transform the pain into pleasure and becomes tolerant to it. The goal is to become wholesome, or if someone is already wholesome, to maintain their wholesomeness. It is best to avoid becoming broken if one achieves this state of wholesomeness. When a person avoids sadism and masochism, they refuse the forbidden fruit and become wholesome or maintain their wholesomeness. If a person avoids being defiled and maintains their spiritual integrity, they also maintain their degree of wholesomeness. If a person avoids the 6 spiritual sins of predation, this is also considered maintaining wholesomeness. Having thick skin can also help a person avoid becoming defiled and maintain wholesomeness as well.